Hi, this is a clip from today's Equine. I'm Kyle Taylor Keller. The rider in this clip is Holly and the horse is Cinnabar. Most of my beginner students that are young will start on the lunge line. And as they become comfortable in strengthening their core and being able to hold on, they'll proceed to riding off the lunge line. I also bring out the lunge line every now and again for my more advanced riders. Riders have a tendency to become heavy on the reins, brace themselves with the reins, and become very dependent and start using less of their bodies to help steer the horse. Riding on the lunge line is going to help cure some of those problems. It also helps check where their student's balance is and how well they're moving with the horse. As Holly's going around, I'll have her do various exercises at the walk, trot, and canter. We'll do everything from asking her to say now when, for instance, a back left foot hits the ground, to having her move her arms in rhythm with the horse's front legs as well as their back legs when they're hitting the ground. As she's riding around, I've instructed her to keep her eyes up and not look down to check her diagonal and make sure that she's picked up the correct one. As Holly's riding, she will pick up the correct diagonal when she starts off trotting. However, as I give her more exercises to do, as I give Holly more exercises to do, she will lose the correct diagonal, which is just fine for a student. This is going to show how you can get off while you're thinking about many things while riding. Then, as we take away some exercises, she will regain the correct diagonal. I also want the riders to use their body to ask the horses to down transition rather than pulling on the reins. While doing the lunge line lesson, I make sure to work both directions and allow the horse and rider some downtime to recoup before moving on to the next exercise. Holly can walk, trot, and canter off the lunge line, and she's also a beginning jumper. So I feel comfortable that as we are working on the lunge line, to ask her to move on, and as we've walked and trotted already, we're going to go ahead and pick up the canter. You'll see that she will adjust the reins every now and again to make sure that the horse doesn't trip on them. And this is because the students are riding around in their bridles when they are not on the lunge line. Moving their arms shows that they can tell where the horse's feet are and try to go in rhythm with him. It also helps give them a balance check. It makes keeping your balance harder, just as well as putting your arms behind your back will take away any stability that your arms were providing. Holly's doing pretty well with keeping her balance, keeping her form in the saddle, and trying to find the horse's rhythm. So I'll ask her for some harder exercises. And you'll see, even with her arms behind her back, she is doing well with keeping her form and still moving with the horse. So now let's move on to putting those arms out and asking to stand up at the canter. She's doing a pretty good job here. This rider does not get to ride every week, so she is a little having some difficulty. Now we've moved on to Carly, the student, and Misty, the horse. Again, I have all of my students work on the lunge line at some point throughout their lessons. Carly does have a bad habit of looking down, so I'll be correcting her throughout the lesson time to keep her eyes up. As they're going, I do want to see them picking up the correct diagonal, as Carly has. And I will test them by asking them to sit, make sure they look up, and ask them to retake that diagonal. Again, the movement of the arms is going to show movement of the front legs now. And Carly's doing a good job of keeping rhythm with the horse. Carly's doing a good job on keeping her seat position. Carly does ride English. I've put her in a Western saddle because I wanted her on this horse for this lesson, part of the lesson anyway. And I'll ask for different types of arm movements. Again, challenging the rider's balance and seeing if they truly feel the horse's rhythm. Carly's doing very well and staying in rhythm with Misty. So I'm going to ask her to take her arms away and challenge her balance with her arms behind her back. She's also doing now the posting as well as the arm movements and keeping both in rhythm. Carly does get to ride every week, and she's had several years of riding experience. So it does provide for a good lesson. We can see how far you can progress and how far your riding can go. Again, she's using her body to down transition the horse and not using the reins. And now we're going to see Carly and Misty working on the canter. It's important for riders to learn to use their legs to guide their horses out and not always rely on the reins. And you can see that Carly has done a good job of this. And now that she's corrected her, she's going to send her back out onto the end of the lunge line, and we're going to cue to canter. Carly's doing a good job of keeping correct position. So we're going to add in some exercises. We like to see those arms moving in rhythm with the front and the back feet. Switching. And now to the back feet. Once again, my advanced riders do not do this type of riding on the lunge line every day. However, it is a good tool to remind them to become soft on the reins, use their body to help steer with their horse, and make sure that you're paying attention to your horse's movement. It can take away some distractions and make some things more clear for the rider since they have fewer things to worry about. I'd like to thank Carly and Holly for allowing me to post this video, and thanks for checking it out.